But let us also, as long as we're critiquing people now, Bernie Sanders has not entered the race officially, or really, I mean, in any way. But who knows? I think there's a decent chance he will. At this point, certainly not quashing any of the speculation. But when Bernie enters the race, he is going to have to contend with his past. And there has been a video. We saw a video earlier of Kamala Harris from 2010, sort of bragging about threatening to jail parents whose kids don't go to school enough. Here is a trip, apparently, that Bernie Sanders took to the Soviet Union in 1988, which, if you'll recall, is supposedly in an era when we were trying to culturally make inroads into the Soviet Union. But God help us, is this the way you do it? He's at a dinner, and he's shirtless.
David Cross was also there?
Yeah, that was not David, the young David Cross. In 88, I can assure you, David Cross had hair. Big curly fro. All right, here, let's listen to this. All right. Oh, there's Bernie Sanders on the right there, leaning in without a shirt on.
When people sit at the same table at the party, and one side of the table starts singing a song, when they finish it, the other side has to sing their own song. What are we going to say? As director said, editor to Victor's was...
All right, pause it. I think what it is there's a Russian woman there, and she's saying when one side of the table sings their song. So this is a mixed Russian and or I should say Soviet and American meal. They have all sorts of wine bottles out there, I guess, to sort of hide the fact of what they're really doing, which is supposedly eating, and they are switching songs back and forth. All right, continue.
Today, the distinctive feature of our economy is competition. This land was made for you and me. This land was that ribbon of highway. Our song of peace, our song of love.
There's more footage of Bernie Sanders there. There's a sign, First American Pizza in Moscow. Wow.
Bernie Sanders is so cool. Everything you learn about him, he just gets cooler. Also, can we say...
Well, wait a second.
He's ageless.
Wait a
he
second.
looks the same back
First
then.
off, the idea that you would be wearing no shirt at dinner is disgusting. I'm sorry. We're not going to let Bernie Sanders skate by this. There's a reason why they say no shirt, no shoes, no service. I don't know if he was wearing shoes there. I don't know why you would if you're not going to wear a shirt at the dinner table. But I hope enough people see this.
Never gone to... Yeah. It'll be really damaging. This is, by the way, just like his point of reference. Isn't this... This was in 88?
Yeah.
So this was 2 years after Mikhail Gorbachev and Reagan tried to get rid of all of the world's nukes at Reykjavik. So, like... How bizarre, like how out of the mainstream that like at a time when like Esalen Institute is facilitating cultural diplomacy and all sorts of direct relationships are forming to end the Cold War, that Bernie Sanders would do this. I mean, it's very damning.
Oh, I can explain to you what was going on.
Is this going to involve a Jonathan Chait theory? Okay, Jonathan Chait. The year is 1988. A young KGB officer named Vladimir Putin calls a meeting with a young Burlington mayor who already looks like a grandpa and a real estate developer from New York City named Donald Trump. Putin knows that by 2016, late-stage capitalism will be ruling America. You will run from left against Hillary Clinton's.
You know who was here at this time?
This is the Jonathan Chait column.
Louis Gohmert.
Oh, my God.
This land was made for Vladimir Putin.
At first, it was a commitment to socialism, but then it became a commitment to Russia as a country. Donald and I had our marching orders.
I saw a tweet by someone who's an editor at Wired, and I've read stuff from her before, and I thought, oh yeah, no, she's a pretty good writer. And I still, for the life of me, can't figure out if she wasn't joking. That the implication is that Sanders' entire campaign is a Putin project.
Yes.
There's a lot of people going after Bernie supporters online right now in the way that they're saying that it's an organized front for Russia.
It's that's pretty.
Frankly, could use to be a little bit more organized this time.
Exactly.
But yes, it's definitely for Russia.
Russia, if you're listening, release more emails.
Release more emails. Tad Devine did good ads, but he was a little sloppy with the Ukraine stuff, for God's sake. Not exactly good PR.
Really, I got a little disturbed by the whole thing.
Yeah, I can't even keep up.
No, but
That's just so awesome. Bernie's so
look.
cool.
I think there are people. Obviously, we talk a lot about the people on both sides of that 2016 election
who lost their shit.
But I honestly think that, some people thought Hillary Clinton had Parkinson's and that Seth Rich was rubbed out by the Clintons.
Did you hear that Kamala Harris has sickle cell?
But
look at it.
But the idea that there are people who genuinely believe that Bernie is some type of Russian agent is pretty stunning.
Can I give and this is actually another good sort of political callback moment. And look, correct me if I'm wrong, because I'm basically going off of watching the War Room documentary. But Bill Clinton, when he was a Rhodes Scholar, he took a road trip into the Soviet Union, right? And they tried to make that was the thing. They tried to be like, well, what kind of young American protests Vietnam and wants to visit the Soviet Union?
Right.
And there's actually a great clip in that documentary where James Carville's like, who was, the best Clinton operative. He's like, what are you talking? He's like, we played them at basketball, man. Are you people crazy? And it's so funny that some of the same contingent of those Clintonistas are now like, it's like, hey, you were right back then.